It's August the 14th. I took that off the screen. I don't know why that happened. August the 14th, 2024. I am Agile Pearl, and it's time to get in the weeds. Jeremy Lambert is here, but he is going down under. No, you're not. I don't think you are. Are you going down under? Are you going to take that flight? Are you going to do that 16 hours to Sydney?
I'm only going down on one thing, Joel.
What's that? South Park? Going on down.
Going down South Park. Yeah.
Anyone else want to venture a guess of what we're going on down? It's Wednesday morning. Beautiful day where I am. Hopefully it is where you are too. We got the next couple of hours to do who knows what. We'll talk about everything and we'll talk about nothing at all. Monday's show was just a mishmash. We got weird. We got funny. I got DMs about ad placements. Shout out to the audio listeners of the show. They got a treat. Yeah, when you did that gimmick that corresponds to what you were just talking about, I put an ad break after you did it.
What happened?
When you did the commander thing.
Oh, I forgot this thing happened.
So I gotta say, you did it. That was Monday. If nothing else, the show had two things. One, Lexi Nair. Two, that conversation. And the short, of course. The short about New Cool.
Yes.
What a big showing. They had a big showing on Raw and then again on NXT.
Gonna be the commander after this show as well. That's
Commander Aziz?
Something like that. What happened to that guy?
That's a good question. Whatever happened to Yabba Dabba Baba Tunde? I miss Baba Tunde.
Just chilling.
I hope he's having the best time. You know what? I hope he's hanging at home eating these. Have you seen these?
Are those Tabasco sauce goldfish?
They're Frank's Red Hot Sauce goldfish. I'm like, part of me wants to try them, and I will. But the art of part of me, the sadistic father side of me, knows that my kid loves goldfish. And we normally keep the color ones, the different colored ones. And then he eats those. Maybe if the kid's not acting nice, maybe I'd give him the Red Hot goldfish. No, I wouldn't do that. I couldn't do that. I like goldfish too much, and I like Red Hot sauce. I don't want to waste those. But I saw them at the store, and I thought maybe I should try them. And I will. Maybe today during our Dynamite rundown.
Sounds awful.
Which part?
Just the goldfish. I don't know about these Frank's Red Hot goldfish. Doesn't sound great.
They're probably a little spicy, but they're goldfish. Goldfish, cheesy, spicy. Who doesn't like that together?
Yeah.
You never had
I don't like spicy cheese.
Really? Oh, I like spicy cheese. It's cheddar habanero. Let's go.
Nah.
Let's get some of that. What are your favorite spicy? Mike Strauss saying they're just okay. You know what? If there's one person whose opinion I would trust on goldfish, it's Mike Straw.
Oh, okay.
Gaming, goldfish. That should be that's your new angle, by the way, Mike. Gaming and goldfish.
Gaming goldfish. Do they make different kind of goldfish? I know.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. They
do. I know they do. So the color ones are just colorful but still cheesy, and I think they're just more multi-grain style, but just healthier, quote unquote. They're goldfish. How healthy can they be? And then they're flavor blasted ones. So there's pizza and super cheesy.
Okay.
Yeah, they're very bright colored bags. There's all different ones. They're pretzel ones. There you go. And Mike Straw is already updating his Twitter bio because listen, I'm just helping you because everybody needs to have a shtick for something. You know how this kind of this is one of the things that Sean first taught me that I really thought about, ruminated about when it came to wrestling media and coverage and how people approach their assignments. We've talked about this before, so this shouldn't be a shock to you. The idea that, on your assignment, you can talk about whatever your assignment is. So if your assignment is wrestlers who love donuts or donut wrestling, and all your questions are about wrestlers who like donuts, you ask questions about donuts. Well, here we are having conversations about goldfish, and that's what we're giving to Mike to be able to go and prosper with goldfish.
Mike should do interviews and just take goldfish with him. Be like, here, try this. And then get the wrestler to review
Problem is, at that point, he might be infringing on Emily May territory.
Does she review goldfish?
She doesn't, but she brings chocolate bars to the
This is
rest.
different. This is goldfish.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's not like, not like everybody has a copyright on here. Try this gimmick. Does Denise Salcedo have a copyright on, Would You Rather or Never Have I Ever?
I mean, she might. You might want to ask her. At this point, she probably would. That's something that goes gangbusters when she does it.
No, I know. Denise Salcedo was great. She asked a question to John Cena on the red carpet yesterday at the Jackpot premiere.
There you go. She got to speak. Wait, are you sure it was John Cena or was that Fluffy?
It was Fluffy as well, but it was also John Cena.
Are you sure? Because like Fluffy and John Cena look very much alike, especially at that Jackpot premiere. You saw how Fluffy looked, right?
Yeah, I saw it.
I know. I'm just saying.
I'm also just saying it was definitely John Cena.
I'm going to have to go back and look. We fact check here on our website.
Okay. It's not like I did an article or anything on the question she asked John Cena. It's not like I
we get got
know what I'm doing.
We get got by deep fakes and AI and all that stuff all the time, right? That's just what it is. Listen, if you speak to Penta, everything is fake, and he is presently with AEW.
Well, presently he probably is.
That's right. He's not circumventing the truth.
Yeah.
He's presently, as of right now, at 10:13 a.m. Eastern on August 14th, 2024. Yes, Penta is presently with All Elite Wrestling.
Yeah.
In a week, who knows? But in a week, you will have already been too late, because right now you should be leaving a thumbs up on this video. You should be subscribing to us here at Fightful Overbooked. And of course, you can donate a super chat. Any amount, get your question or statement right on the air as the fireworks come a-flying.
I have my Sting shirt on.
Oh, yes.
Farewell to an icon, Sting.
Yes. There they are. The fireworks are here. And there it is. Van Twinblade gives us a super chat to start the day. Logan Paul can't go back to Japan because Japan knows he's a horrible person. Can we use the same reason to kick him out of America? Yeah.
Bro, this exchange ruled. This was hilarious.
Has he been shadow banned?
So Logan Paul drops this interview he does with Dominic Mysterio. Bless whoever puts Logan Paul's interviews together. I assume it's not him, but they timestamp them. They do the chapters basically on the interviews. So anytime Logan drops an interview, I look at the chapters to kind of pick out what I think is going to be the most interesting first article. So I see the chapter of Dominic Mysterio asks Logan Paul about Japan. It's at the end of the interview. I'm like, well, let's skip right to this. I don't care about this custody battle match. I don't care about how his wife feels about Judgment Day or I don't care about any of this stuff. Let's skip to Dominic Mysterio ask Logan Paul about Japan. And boy, what a moment for old Dominic Mysterio. You ever been to Japan? It's great. You've never been? What? Huh? Like, he's laughing and smiling, and Logan's just like, He's like, can you go? Logan's like, bro, of course I can go. Like, yeah, I can go. Tommy's like, okay, I wasn't sure if you were shadow banned, excommunicated, or anything. Excommunicado. Mike, the co-host. Yeah, Mike, the co-host, is like cracking up this entire time too. And Logan's like, I never said this, but my rule was like, I wanted to be like invited back. And Mike's like, who do you get invited? Like, you ask the emperor to be invited back to Japan? Like, who do you ask? And he's like, no, like WWE asked me back. And Dominic being like, you should wear the hat. And that's when Logan was like, too far, bro, too far. And Logan's like, Dom's like, as a heel, you should wear the hat. And Logan's like out of it at this point. He's like, too far. Like, he looked legitimately upset by this. Legitimately upset. It seemed like it's kind of all fun and games sort of first, and Logan was a little like, okay, fine. Like, I'll address this. But the hat thing legitimately looked like it upset him. And Logan was checked out on the conference. Then Mike and Dom are talking about, oh yeah, we went to Belgium and waffles and all this stuff. And talking about all the places you visited. But Dominic was on a heater with this. Absolute heater. Put the world title on this man. I don't care at this point. Have him beat Gunther. Strap up, Big Daddy Dom. Deep Daddy Dom.
Deep Dick Daddy Dom. We're in on it, baby. Oh, God bless. Although if you ask Rhea, maybe not deep enough. Will Chisholm sent a super chat saying Dom turned babyface with me. Listen, a lot of people will agree with that sentiment. Let me tell you. Dom's going to come out and be like, I did it because I was a heel. That's why I said it. And we're going to be like, yes, you were.
They're not going to address this on television or anything, but like,
no, never.
It was amazing. Oh, I was dying laughing. I watched this clip so many times. Like I did the article and then I just went back and just rewatched the clip multiple times. I was dying, especially when Logan is like, too far, bro. Too far. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions.
It ruled. Dominic was so good. He like, it's amazing to watch Dominic. By the way, the lead that got buried in this whole interview, two things really. One, they wanted to hang up Dominic as an 8-year-old. They wanted to like hang him by the waist for this Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio ladder match. What is wrong with these people wanting to hang him by his waist as a child?
That's
Jesus.
how little do people know that's where Darby Allin got the idea for the finish to the match at the last pay-per-view.
So that's one. And that the second thing is Dominic's gonna retire young and start a weed farm. That one doesn't astound me at all. But they were talking about drugs in this interview and weed in particular. You know, they kind of skirt around it, but Dom did say like gonna start gonna grow some goodies in California once he retires. Bless him.
Now I know why he grew the mustache. It's not because of old school Eddie. It's not Art Barr. No, it is because he is planning. He is planning for his retirement is Dom Mysterio, because the only people who have a mustache like that who are not named Eddie or Art are named Cheech and Chong, and the dude is ready to take on that mantle when he's done in the wrestling sphere. And I bless him. I hope him and his wife, his real wife, have a fantastic, long, successful marriage and life and business together, growing pot and making goodies.
They're gonna grow some weed and do doggy bakery treats as well. His wife is a baker. And so they're going to do some dog bakery treats. Like
there'll be separate kitchens.
God bless.
They're not going to touch. Just letting people know.
Yeah, you know, could mix and match a little bit.
I think you're supposed to.
Not supposed to, but like
I feel like it's dangerous, kind of like the chocolate stuff.
Nah, how high they did it. Things worked out fine for Meth and Red.
That's a good point.
Are you stoned right now, Joel? What is happening?
No, I'm just getting over whatever I had last week still. Okay. Still a little bit of phlegm left. So thank God for the mute button. I'm still here for now.
This interview ruled, by the way. Dominic is amazing. I love he still buries his dad as well. He's like, I ain't gonna wrestle till I'm 50, like old deadbeat. I'm retiring young. Thanks for the cheese. I'm growing weed. Peace out.
You know, the best part is that his dad probably led him on to that idea, that path. His dad is probably like, don't do what I did. Just don't buy stock in Louis Vuitton. It'll come back to bite you in the ass.
Dominic's got it down, if we're being honest. Like, you know, he was workhorse Dom last year. He did like 250 matches, only second to Cody and stuff. This year, he was injured to start the year. That man ain't wrestled like at all this year. He goes out there, Rhea Ripley's licking his face. Liv Morgan's mounting him. He's mounting Liv Morgan. He's getting put over for how big his dick is. This man's got the life going on here. Bless. He's going to start growing weed as well.
The dude just knows. He just gets it.
Oh, he's learning from Carlito, not Ray.
Oh, you think Lito's the one who's wising him up to all this stuff?
I mean, if you watch that match on Monday, Carlito is definitely chilling and going through some motions there.
I love that it's taken people this long to figure out that Carlito hasn't wrestled in his gear in like easily 6 weeks. It's been a while. I made the joke a few weeks ago being like, did the airlines lose his luggage because he's wrestling in sweatpants? And then I was told, no, it's just how it is right now. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, well, people wrestle in Jordans. I get it. Like, you wrestle in whatever you're comfortable in. Gone are the days of like needing to wear, tights and boots. Some people still do. Sure, that's presentation, but like, come on, man. People are wrestling whatever they feel comfortable in. Why not? So Carlito's in gray sweatpants.
Let that man live. Let him live.
What did you think of that Judgment Day stuff from Raw? Everything. Like they did a whole smishmash with it to open the show. Rhea comes out, undresses Dom with her words, not literally, because they're done that. Liv and Dom come out, and Liv wanted to undress Dom the other way, but they're in public and on the stairwell. And then they do the AJ Styles Undertaker meme that people have pointed out to the ends of the earth, which I love. And I love the dead eyes in Damian Priest as he kind of looks past them, and he's right behind them. And they do the shot. They do the fight in the concessions area, and people are having a good time. I thought it was well done. It led into the Carlito match, which I love, because I want these things to go into each other so that the live crowd isn't just suddenly the lights go dark and scene and then go into commercial, whatever. I thought it was good to have some sort of movement go into the match, and then coming out of the match, you had Dominic come down to the ring, and they did a thing in the ring. I liked it. I wanted your thoughts on how they kind of played that out and where it's going, because now there's a tag match set for Berlin. It's going to be Dom and Liv versus Rhea and Damian Priest.
I really like this opening segment. Rhea coming out, explaining she wants to murder Dominic for stabbing the knife in her back, but not deep enough. And then the setup to Priest appearing behind them, the chase, leading into the match, and then the aftermath. One thing that I think WWE's done well lately, but it's been very noticeable to me, at least the last 2 weeks, is the threading of segments. And what I mean by that is this opening segment where Rhea promo into stuff going on in the concourse, into a match, into the stuff after the match. But later on in the night, when you had Orton and Gunther and they're face to face, and here comes McIntyre. Oh, Punk jumps McIntyre. And now what started as an Orton and Gunther segment is now a McIntyre and Punk segment. And they did this last week as well. What started as a CM Punk segment also included Drew McIntyre, also included Seth Rollins. And then Bronson Reed comes out and attacks Seth Rollins. So again, what starts is, CM Punk's going to address the crowd, ends with Bronson Reed killing Seth Rollins, which is very different from typically how they do, which is very just structured of, here's your segment. Maybe people will come out, interrupt. All right, commercial break, next segment. Like, the way they are piecing these segments together and having multiple things going on, but also making sense of these multiple things is very good. And I'm a big fan of the way they're doing that.
Yeah. One of the best indie shows, and I talk about Greektown Wrestling a lot, and we've had some of their wrestlers show up and talk about the promotion here in Toronto. One of my favorite Greektown shows, and Tim and I talk about this frequently, is a show where the entire first half, match after match, was strung together by a storyline that they were running at the time, which on the indies, some people will know, isn't very common. And they spent the entirety of the first half of the show doing it. As one match ended, there was a promo or a talk to the ring to kind of get you to the next match, because everyone was interconnected in their feuds. And we talk about it to this day as like one of the best run first half shows that Greektown ever did, because they kept you wanting to stick around and watch the show. It became a storyline driven product. And for us, at least, who are very like storyline interested people when it comes to our wrestling presentation, that was kind of cool to see. So I like that WWE isn't afraid and is leaning in more to that style of storytelling when they can. This was one of those times. And now I don't know if it's too early to be doing that tag match, that mixed tag. It felt inevitable, but like, I guess how long can you really put it off for? But is is it too big, quote unquote, too big of a match to be doing in Berlin? Or is it just right because obviously there's much more that's coming out of this story? This is just kind of the beginning of everything.
It feels like it's the beginning because you're probably going to have to do a Rhea and Liv rematch. Priest and Balor is still on the table. I'm not taking Rhea and Dom off the table. I think that is a potential match that they do at some point between now and, let's say, WrestleMania. Let's say that WrestleMania is when they end up doing this story, doing this match. I could see it happening. Rhea and Dom at WrestleMania. So I think doing the mixed tag match in Berlin is fine. I don't think it's too early at all because there's still a lot more that can go on with this, especially if it plays out in a way of Finn helps Liv and Dom win. So then you're going to set up a rematch where, some type of stipulation gimmick on there. So you got to go for it. Go for the match now and then continue to build towards other things.
Is Finn versus Priest a world title match worthy stipulation? And by stipulation, I mean, should the world title be involved? Because Priest was the world champion. Finn technically cost him that world title. I say technically because while he did put Gunther's, he was involved in the finish, but he wasn't directly. He didn't like crack him with a chair, knock him out. He got involved and distracted Damian Priest. Should this be the story of Priest going after Finn directly, or should Priest have a side quest, go back for the world title? Should Finn go after the world championship? Is this worth adding the world title at all?
I mean, you can add it, but I don't see it happening. I don't think it's necessary. They're already telling a good story, and yeah, like you taking the title off Gunther to put it just back on Priest or put it on Finn, that's not happening.
I mean, you got to get the title off of Gunther at one point to do something, because
but not in a month.
I'm not necessarily saying that it's going to happen in a month, but if it's a match around Survivor Series time, you got a few months. I don't think Gunther's going to be holding that title past Royal Rumble.
Okay, but that's Royal Rumble. I think he actually is. I think he's going to go into Mania as the champion.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the match for Gunther for the world title? Is it Gunther and Cena? You were looking for the thing, weren't you?
Yeah, I was looking for my wristband. I think one of the kids took it, actually.
So the story becomes, oh no, it's going to be Super American John Cena wins the Royal Rumble and challenges Gunther.
As it should be.
That's a very John Cena-esque match.
As it should be.
Make it a flag match while you're at it. Remember that?
By me, yeah.
Remember the flag match?
Fine by me.
Oh, Battleground was a hell of a show. I don't know, man. I see people saying that Gunther versus Cena, Gunther versus Punk, Gunther holds on to the title till WrestleMania. I get it. I don't know for sure if that's where they're going with it. I also understand it's Gunther, and he has a lot of good just a lot of good stuff going around him right now, whether that's quality of his matches, performances, the way he's been looked upon backstage. Yes, 100%. I can see him keeping it for a little while longer. I just don't know if that's part of the WrestleMania plan for him.
That's the WrestleMania plan right there.
Yeah.
John Cena and Gunther.
Should be Fluffy versus John Cena, because I've never seen them in the same room together.
If Gunther's not the champion at WrestleMania, who's beating him beforehand?
Orton. And we're doing Cena versus Orton. No, I don't. That's the thing. I don't necessarily know, but this is why I kind of think about the Priest and Balor stuff, is how much further is this being extended? Is this a WrestleMania match? That's a long time to go to get to that match. Is it a part of War Games, this match? Because you've got presumably we're all sitting here saying it's bloodline, but what if it's Judgment Day? What if it's Finn and Rhea? Sorry, not Finn. If it's Damian and Rhea and friends of theirs against New Judgment Day, and it's a different take on War Games because traditionally it's men versus men, women versus women. What if we go that route?
Okay, but that doesn't put the world title on Priest or Balor.
No, but I'm just saying, if you taking away the world title stuff, if you do Priest versus Balor, is it hot enough that you can have that story go all the way to WrestleMania to fill one of the two nights? Is that going to be hot enough to get people invested? Because it's a blow off match at that point. It's the culmination of whatever this Judgment Day story has become.
Yeah, you can make it hot enough. Let's say they do War Games, and I think Judgment Day should win that. It depends on who they add to Priest's team and everything, but Judgment Day wins. You kind of let it simmer for a little bit. Maybe you do some interaction at the Rumble, and then you heat it back up for Mania. Like, it's not going to be one through story from now until WrestleMania. Like, they're going to have to do other things in the meantime. Maybe Priest does go after the title again, but I don't think he should win the title.
I think Louis got it here. Dwayne beats Big Gunt.
I mean, I'm fine with that too. That would rule.
Let's go. Could you imagine the promo battles between those two? Ooh, it would just be fire. It'd be The Rock just saying a lot of words and Gunther just being like, "You're trash, and so is your vodka," and then it's game over. Whatever, the Terramana. What does he have? It's not whiskey. It's
Tequila.
Yeah, whatever. They're all the same. I'm not a big drinker. You know this.
Yeah, but I mean, tequila and vodka and whiskey are not the same.
They get you feeling a certain way. They're the same. It's just like the Australians. You put your queen on your money, you're effectively British. I guess now it's the king, but they still got to do the mint and the new look. And the new bills don't go into circulation until like 2026. Yeah, like Black Adam was trash, and that's it. That's how they do the match.
So Rock's babyface now?
Well, why not for this one?
Oh, could you imagine babyface Rock against Gunther trying to do the Austria accent? Oh, he's gonna call him like a pancake fatty and all this shit. Oh, it'd be god awful.
And you and I would love every week on the show just going back to it. It wouldn't even be that bad. Oh God. Anyway, it would be fun. Elsewhere on Monday Night Raw, Punk and McIntyre renewed their hostilities. Drew McIntyre introduced his belt, and I immediately said, "Oh, I know where this is going." And then, like 20 minutes later, they all but told us where this was going. We're doing potentially a strap match in Berlin. What say you? This is the second match of the two. It's a little more heated because I'm guessing no one else will be involved as a special guest referee. This is just Punk, just McIntyre, with potentially a strap in between them.
It's good that they're going to have a actual heated match, hopefully, because I said the SummerSlam match, I thought that really lacked intensity for what the feud needed to be. So doing some type of stipulation is good because this is a big time rivalry, almost a blood feud over a bracelet. Although it's not about the bracelet, everybody. It's about the representation of what that bracelet means. So the dog's name and his wife's name. Not about the actual bracelet, even though he definitely wants the bracelet back, but it's not about the bracelet. It's about the meaning of the bracelet.
He is so incredibly online, despite not being online at all, that he heard us. He heard everyone complaining about the bracelets. It made it back to him, and he said, "All right, damn it. It's just a bracelet, but it's not just any bracelet. It's a magic bracelet." And then he explained why the bracelet didn't matter, but it also mattered. Good on you, hedging Punk. You're making everybody happy, except yourself.
I hope Drew just breaks the bracelet now. Fuck it. Like,
doesn't matter, right? Snap.
Yeah. Like, all right, if it's not about this, rip. Like, go for it.
Here's the thing about a strap match, though. Because they're bound by each side, right? Their wrists are both one on one side, one on the other. Well, if I'm Drew McIntyre and I still have the stupid bracelet, I'm gonna put the strap on the same wrist as the bracelet, because then you can't get the bracelet off my wrist as long as the strap is attached to my wrist. Not only that, where the strap goes around my wrist, I'm gonna make sure the bracelet's underneath so that Punk can't get to it.
Well, I don't know if I can use like an example of anything because I don't have like a strap, but okay. So you got the strap on your wrist, the bracelet's there, but you can pull the bracelet over top of the strap, and then it's just you gotta pull it through onto the strap, like, you know. So that's how he gets it back. Hopefully, people understand what I'm saying here.
Yeah,
like, this makes sense.
This is what I was thinking. Is that like you're gonna have an awkward 30 seconds where it's Punk just like trying to roll the stupid bracelet through the strap so we can get it from one end to this one end.
And it goes from his. Goes from Drew's wrist, he goes all the way down the strap, and then it goes onto Punk's wrist, and that's how he gets the bracelet back.
It's just like that game where you have to pass the metal rod through the rest of the metal, and if you touch it, it buzzes. Yeah, it's the same idea, but less buzzing, more annoyance. That's exactly how it should go.
I do think Drew should just break this bracelet, though. That's got to be the payoff here. If the bracelet doesn't matter, and it's not actually about the bracelet, Drew should be like, all right, fine, let's just break it.
I see nothing wrong with that. He's already told you it's not important. It just let the bracelet break. Let it break naturally in one of their melees.
Nah, that bracelet's durable as shit. It didn't break during SummerSlam. That thing knows how to work.
That's true. We did mention that during our show on Monday, last Monday. It was a very durable bracelet, and it still is because it's still around someone's wrist. You think they traded off, or you think Drew still got it during appearances?
Oh, I think Drew keeps it on him. Drew respects the business. So yeah, he's probably out walking around wherever he's living now, and he still has it.
I think he's in Nashville.
Okay.
I think so. I mean,
maybe I'll take a photo with Jack Perry, and we'll see if he's got the bracelet on or not.
I think it'd be very funny if Drew, being the ultimate hater, goes and buys a house in Chicago and just does a whole photo shoot in Chicago around his new house. That
seems like a waste of money to just buy a house in Chicago.
Welcome to wrestling, Jeremy Lamberts. Everything is a waste of money. Give me one example of a good use of money in professional wrestling, and I'll show you a liar.
The liar gave away millions of dollars,
allegedly, and then he got blown up, and then he came back 2 weeks later. We don't talk
that
about
bit kind of ruled because he got like Rick rolled that one time. That was hilarious.
Yeah, we still don't know if that was we don't know if that was real or not. All these years later, it's just like the Batista guy. The guy who ran through in the middle of a Batista segment on Raw, did the thing, and everyone was like, "What the hell was that?" That was a plant. Had to be a plant. They swear up and down to this day that it wasn't. If they don't want you to see it, they can cut away from it like that, and they will. This was planned.
They should pay that off. It's just like Batista comes back for maybe his Hall of Fame speech at some point, and then he just like somebody runs into the Hall of Fame speech, and Batista power bombs him through the table. And then everybody online like, look at this long-term storytelling.
I'm not getting my introduction to the Hall of Fame until you tell the truth. You tell them who did it. You tell them what they were. And you tell them that guy was supposed to be part of the show. You tell them, because I've been telling them for years that it's not part of the show. But they know. And I'm not coming into the Hall of Fame until you tell them what happened. Batista's never joined the Hall of Fame. What else happened on Raw that's worth talking about at this point? I know, right? Wyatt Sicks stuff kind of happened. They showed another video. They just kind of wrapped up what they did last week. They said, well, it was excuse me. It was Bo talking to the television set saying, you know, we were here 12 years ago. We did it. We came back, did it for you, and the mission's not complete. So what's left in the mission? What's next for the Wyatt Sicks?
Well, they got to, look into whatever their quests are and their quest map to see what achievements they need to get unlocked, and then go from there. And Chad Gable was in France scouting, so he's done. The Creeds were beating up Otis and Tozawa.
Why were all those wrestlers in France?
The Olympics were in France.
I know, but it's like, it's very... I think about it. I'm just like, man, I guess y'all didn't have any obligations that weekend, you know? It's the wrestler life can be very strange to me. Just because they have Raw on Monday or SmackDown on Friday, whatever side they're working. And then it's like, oh yeah, just taking a casual trip to Paris for the weekend. I'm like, man, for most people, for the average person, that is a very quick, that's a very quick time to be in Paris. Normally people make a week out of it, not a 2-day trip. It's very interesting.
That's just wrestler life. They go everywhere for like 2 days. Dominic and Logan Paul were talking about this.
But they're usually going there for work for 2 days. It's very
This was work. Chad Gable was scouting.
Stop it.
What?
What was he scouting?
The Olympics. The wrestlers at the Olympics. You see that one girl who hit a German suplex?
Ray Gun?
They should fucking sign her.
What about Ray Gun? Why haven't they signed her?
Maybe they will.
They should. She can flip-flop with the best of them.
She did not hit a German suplex, though. This girl hit a German suplex and broke the other girl's neck.
I'm saying this in the most serious way possible. When we get to the conversation about this Australia show in AEW, if you don't bring in Ray Gun for an appearance, what are we doing?
Well, that would require AEW to capitalize on something good and, topical. It's not going to be topical in 2025. Honestly.
Doesn't matter. They can still do it. Oh, actually, at that point, it's probably better for them because it will be 2025.
That would require AEW to capitalize on something like that, and that's probably not going to happen.
I'm sure they'll bring a giant UK flag to the show. I'm
just kidding about the capitalizing stuff, everybody. But my point on that was what Joel kind of alluded to as well. They do this they're selling this MJF USA flag. And I saw the shop tweet. They got destroyed in the comments and the quotes. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I was just like, oh, this is kind of a dumb piece of merch, but whatever. People will probably buy it, maybe. I don't know. Nah, they got absolutely hammered.
There was one that I saw that I just thought it was flying this at half mast to mourn the loss of the company that I loved.
Oh.
I was like, oh no.
They got killed. Like, I was really surprised at how much people were really against this. Again, I saw it and I'm like, sure. I actually thought they actually, they showed it on television. Now they're going to sell it. Sure. I'm sure a bunch of MJF fans are going to buy this thing. Good on them. But people were like, we don't want this shit. We don't want this at all. Give us hologram masks, which fair. They should be selling some hologram stuff. I don't know if hologram has any merch, but it's been a month now. You should probably have some merch for this guy. If you're making MJF flags, that this title reign's probably going to end in a week.
You take the mask that he has. You know what? Even if you're not going to make the lucha mask, you make glasses. You make hologram glasses. They just like the eyes on his face. You make it like that, and they do the glasses, and they say hologram, his logo, whatever you're using on the sides. Easy. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do.
Oh, the Sting snow globe. I remember that thing.
Oh,
that was god awful.
The eyes on Sting were just like two dotted paint. Oh, whoo, awful.
And people were like, Sting mask. We want Sting mask. I was really surprised at how much people vehemently hated this MJF flag idea.
There are some weeks where you and I sit here and have a 45-minute conversation about merchandising and pro wrestling. And this happens. And then some weeks where we talk about actual storyline stuff, and then things happen and we're just like, oh, good. Clearly they're listening. This is one time where they listened and they said, LOL, absolutely not.
Just amazing.
Yeah, people are talking about taking, the Tony Storm shoes. I'm like, it's a little more difficult. Making shoes is a very expensive venture. A Penta mask, you sell them at a premium. Absolutely. People will buy it. The title, again, selling that title for $1,000. There are people buying it. I get it. The Swerve grills, sure. Again, that's kind of a fit thing, but there are certain things that you could do that are different, and I wish they would run into it.
The grills thing, by the way, I don't think is a fit thing because, I got 12 kids, Joel. We go to these events, and they got these. We went to a local football game. The other year, they got these little grills there. They light up. They're like little mouth guards. They're plastic and they light up and shit. Kids love these things. $5. You could easily sell those as Swerve marketed grills.
See, that's fine. I would be fine with that. But yeah, it's just one of those things where you're wondering what's happening.
I was having a conversation with online. It's public. Ryan Satin, who is no longer in the wrestling business. R.I.P. Ryan Satin's wrestling life. But he was talking about how hot WWE is and everything right now, and he's talking about the crossover and all of this stuff. So I went to the fair. I mentioned I went to the fair the other day. I saw the kid in the Cody shirt, and I made the whole family raise the one so they could acknowledge us. But also in the fair there was a bunch of people in SummerSlam shirts. There was like adults in SummerSlam shirts. And last night, it was back to school. So we're at back to school. A dude in an LA Knight shirt. Like, people are wearing all these wrestling shirts. People want to buy this stuff. That's the thing with wrestling fans. They want to buy this shit. So just sell it. It's probably not going to hurt you. I mean, maybe it takes a lot to produce. I don't know. They're a t-shirt company. They should be selling a lot of t-shirts, though.
I like Drew's bringing up in the chat. Is it a limitation on things they can do because of the PWTs issue? If it is, bye-bye PWTs. I don't know how much. I don't know how deep in PWTs is at year 5 of this, but maybe it's time to start moving away. I'm glad that they're doing things like, they've got Mel Coleman doing the Match Monday graphic things. Like they're selling her art as like a monthly, or not a monthly, like a weekly drop on Mondays where you can buy her art that's based on matches in AEW history. And that stuff's selling out, by the way. So shout out to Mel.
Yeah,
wonderful.
People love this stuff.
People want to buy it. People want to do it. You can put some of that stuff on a shirt, and I'm sure she would be happy with the residuals, and AEW would be happy to be selling that stuff and making good money off of that art. It's very interesting. And you don't need to sell it at $110 on a Don Callis t-shirt because you're trying to prove a point, a really stupid one.
People want to buy all of this merchandise. That's why I don't think like the MJF flag was that bad of an idea. I'm like, people are gonna buy this. Like, they just will. Yeah. But again, I was just surprised at how many people were really just like, this sucks. Give us this. It's like, wow. I don't think it sucks. It is what it is. But people are vehemently of just like, no, don't want this. Please give us something else. Like, man, you guys are missing the boat with some stuff you could probably be doing here.
And that's kind of the thing. It's like, that's where you shouldn't be shocked, is because people say, dude, why not this? Why not that? Why not this? Why not that? And then they're like, okay, here's this. And like, that's not at all what anyone asked for. That's not at all what we want. It's like, okay, you listened, but you didn't listen at all. So it's one of those like, they're trying to show, oh yeah, we can please you. But then they're like, well, you're not pleasing us. You're just using your ideas with our gripes.
Yeah, MJF gets his own stuff,
Yeah, he does.
He's fine. Not worried about MJF. It's these other people that need some merchandise over here.
I don't want to go to their shop right now. But regardless, it's like,
let's go to their shop right now. Let's see what's on old AEW shop. Shop.aew.com. I don't even know if that's right. It says shop AEW.com.
Do you want to share your thing?
What?
It's not shop
the screen?
Yeah,
it's shop AEW.com. I mean, yes, that's what I said.
Yeah, no, I get it. Are we sharing? Should I share this?
Okay. I mean,
hold on.
I'll share my screen. Hold on.
Sharing is easiest with 2 monitors. Shop AEW.com. Share this.
Okay, you sharing your screen?
Yeah, here we are. Okay.
All right.
So here we are.
All right.
Shop AEW.com.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. We're going apparel. We want to take jerseys? No. T-shirts? T-shirts. Start easy. Okay. What are we looking for here?
What is this wrestle? Where the best wrestle?
Where the best wrestle in the United States in 2024. So that,
they got everything. Oh, those are kind of cool, actually.
The lucha ones, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my home. It's a luchan. Okay.
I respect those. Those are
Japanese
nice.
One. Okay. Yeah. Oh, here's the British one.
It should have a bruv on there.
It should, yeah. Then they got to pay Will. That's the only problem.
Those are cool.
Oh, they got the Canada one. They got there's the Australia one. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Should be where the best wrestle, eh?
For this one, yes, absolutely. Yeah. For this one, it should just be where the best Aussie, there's a Bad Apple t-shirt. Why does
you to respect?
Why does he have to wear a Jericho t-shirt in his
Also,
t-shirt?
Jericho gets the royalties as well.
He
That's the old
does.
Hogan move right there.
Oh, that's nasty. Here we go. Yeah, this is a lot of this is new stuff, and this is but here's the thing. If any of you are going to an AEW event in the next, I don't know if I should count All In, but I also know that it'll be hit or miss. If you're going to an AEW event in the next little while, keep tabs on what we're looking at today, and think to yourself, did I see these shirts at the event that I went to? Because that is another point of conversation that we've been having. Because like there is some really cool stuff. Like here's the Mark Briscoe one. I like that. I've seen that shirt on him before. It's solid. It's silly, and it's Mark Briscoe. Here's the Mariah May Tokyo Glamour. Like there's some good looking stuff here. That's Mel, I'm pretty sure.
You just can't buy these at events.
But that's the thing, and that's why I'm saying, like, when you go to these shirts, like here's Henry saying they had none of these shirts in Nashville. That was 3 weeks ago. I don't know how new these are, but I will say these shirts look good. We can like here's the Mercedes Monet one. That is a colorful shirt. If this were an all over print, wouldn't hate it. With that color style. There's some good stuff in here. Here's the Event Blood and Guts t-shirt. They'll always have that stuff at the big shows, along with like the tour shirts. There's an old Moxley. Oh no, it's the new Moxley one, the Nora one with the flowers. What else is there?
He doesn't wear that because John Moxley's not on television.
Here's the out of stock. They only sold this for an hour on July 12th. You should probably take this down, AEW.
Why? I assume you can still buy it. Why can't you still buy it?
No, it literally says out of stock on the top corner of the of it.
Well, they want you to know. They want you to know that it's there.
Yeah, it was printed for 1 hour, sold for 1 hour, shipped in 1 hour on July 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Is there a reason?
They want you to know that's sold out.
I guess, but like there's no.
They probably should take that down though. Like when WWE sells, they did those Roman belts. They only made like 1,316 of them to celebrate his 1,316 days. And the moment they sold out of those things, you couldn't find it anywhere on that website.
Okay, we gotta talk about this. What the fuck?
Fireworks. It's fireworks, Joel.
I know we do fireworks on our show, but that is not good.
Look, that's all it is. They literally just did the background of the somebody like put the AEW logo on there and then they green screened it. And then someone did that on an Apple computer and they captured it.
I need thoughts on this one.
Is that a cactus? I guess he's from Texas.
He is Texas. Texas born, Texas bred.
I like when Sammy Guevara sticks his tongue out. He's always like, ah.
Anyway, people are mentioning it's a lot of black shirts. And yes, that's true. And I was like, oh, I just saw a bunch, but they were all the AEW branded country ones. There's like, here's the sky blue one. Although if you're a black metal fan, that's the only way that you'll know that says sky blue. Trent Beretta, which is just
it's like blood cobwebs.
Sure, cobwebs. I think they call them.
What is this font?
I don't know, and it's not.
What are these E's?
Not good. The Takeshita one, it's fine. So like it started strong. Now we're kind of getting to the Forbidden Door. I was there. Swerve and Ospreay Forbidden Door. I was there. Title, like all the Forbidden Door stuff.
Pull up that Mama Wayne shirt, Joel. You know you want to.
Yes. Shout out to Mel. This was a Mel Coleman shirt. I did see the design before it was submitted, and it is friggin' good. Nick Wayne's mom has got it going on. There is a back on this shirt, isn't there?
I don't know.
Oh no, I'm looking to see. I thought there was.
No, I've not looked at these shirts long enough.
I haven't seen that. I've only seen that. Here's a Swerve one that just says house call. Oh, it's him doing the thing. Okay, that's not bad. They're borrowing from a Nike ad, aren't they?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, I said borrowing, not ripping off. But yes, oh yeah, of course, the tins chits, yeah, the chin tit shoe, something that people love. It's ugly as sin though.
Yeah, the font is.
People did not. Yeah, people did not like it. You could have done.
They should do this shirt, but it's the like symbols. So it's like a Jay Leno chin, and then it's like animated tits, and then it's a shoe.
So here is the shirt that Brian Keith is wearing in his merchandise so that Chris Jericho gets paid for it as well. God, amazing.
There's a shirt I got. It's the Farewell to the Icon shirt.
Oh, where is that? Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is.
Same shirt.
There you go. So that still exists.
I wear AEW. I wear AEW branded shirts.
So yeah, just giving everyone an idea of what's here. Here's the Prince Nana Dance Club. It's actually very funny and stupid at the same time. I love it. So
sends a bad message that you swerve when you drive.
That is true. Oh, look, another sky blue shirt that happens to be blue. I'm starting to sense a pattern.
I respect the gimmick.
That's right. So regardless, there are a lot of shirts and there are a lot of like popular.
Here's the thing. I don't think their shirts are bad. Did they still have the Danielson shirt that I designed that no one else bought that I never got for free?
It's Danielson with an N, not an M.
Learn how to spell, Joel.
My keyboard is in the middle of my microphone stand. Looking for it. Where is it? Come on. You know it's there.
I don't know if it is. This is why.
No, it's not there.
Oh,
maybe it was also only sold for an hour.
No, it was sold for a while. Thank God my wife bought it for me because
this is
I never got one.
This is filed under things you cannot wear in public.
I mean, you can wear it in public.
Things you shouldn't wear in public.
I don't think their shirts are necessarily bad, by the way. I think they've been fine. But A-Shock says it like, you got to sell some of these at the show.
Right. This is what we're really getting.
We don't see any of these shirts at the shows. And then when it comes to the other stuff, they definitely don't do a good enough job selling other stuff. People were complaining for a long time about like, why don't they have 300,000 foam fingers for friggin' the Acclaimed?
It's a good question.
Like they should have been selling those all the time, and you never saw them at shows. They should have always been selling them.
I'm curious about women's merch because that's something that comes up frequently, and it's just all AEW branded tank tops. Okay, sure. This is something that I have to say WWE does a billion times better, and that is merch for not dudes. Whether that's kids, women, dogs. They've got stuff for dogs and pets. They've got houseware, for God's sake. Do they have home and office? Bedding.
What?
Yeah. There's bedding. You can get a Schamberger Prince. No, none of these are bedding. There's nothing in bedding.
It's a sorry.
Yeah. What about mugs?
Yeah, you gotta have a bunch of mugs.
Oh yeah. Did you get the Orange Cassidy mug? Maybe the Sting mug?
Get the Hey EW mug.
Get the Hey EW. Everyone wants that one. When J&A's won. That's all you wanted.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Is there anything else here? House of Black? Yeah, that's it.
Wake up, get coffee, be elite. Let's go.
That is a day one coffee mug. They just rebranded it with the new logo. God bless. Okay. Hold on. They have ornaments. Yeah, okay. We're gonna have to get rid of that one soon. Not now. Not presently. Not now.
Not presently.
Presently, not. We don't have to. Soon enough. And then finally, what was it? The flags. Right. Are there any other flags that we can get upset about?
There's a Bruv flag. Look at that.
What are we getting upset about now? There's a Sting flag. The Elite one's very colorful. These are beach towels. No, they're not. They're flags.
No, they're flags.
They're flags. Oh, you go. Look at that. You get that Ring of Honor flag. These are $30.
Fair.
The Sting one is 12.
It's on sale.
So there you go. You could get one of these and have your own AEW press conference circa 2019. All you have to do is buy one on shop.aew.com. $40.
It'll get there in 2 to 3 weeks.
Just in time for your next press conference. Is there anything? Okay, pet items. And take a quick gander.
Sure.
Just a leash. I'm pretty sure that's a lanyard and not a leash. If you please do not
What's the
pet.
difference?
Please do not walk your pet with that. It
Eh.
looks like it's going to be a problem for you and your pets.
That's fine. You can still use it.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, the selling some of this stuff does not need to be sold at the events.
Nah,
But
they got to bring more shirts though.
the t-shirts, yes. And the flags too. Honestly, like some of these flags probably would do fine at the shows. However, if you're going to a show like All In, I can get rid of this now. If you're going to a show like All In and they don't have a shop, you think that would be one thing, is to maybe have an AEW retail shop.
Well, they kind of did that last year, right? Didn't they do like a little pop-up sort of thing? I don't think it was like a shop, but I do think it was like a bigger stand.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm getting at, is you need to do something like that. And that's where you bring in maybe the mugs or whatever, the extra stuff that aren't just shirts that are going to be available at the shows.
I imagine that would take, like, bringing all that stuff overseas might be a little easier said than done. The biggest thing to me, and this I can't excuse, of like, oh, they're a small company. When they did Sting's last match, you knew all your Sting merchandise was going to sell. Overstock that shit. They were understocked with Sting merchandise for his last match. And that is just, I don't want to say incompetence, but that is inexcusable to me. It's Sting's last match. The whole show is built around him. You could not have had enough Sting merchandise, especially t-shirts, for that show. The fact that some people couldn't get a I was there shirt because you didn't have enough of them, or you didn't have enough in enough sizes, inexcusable to me. You overstock some of this stuff that you know is going to sell really well. People want to buy this stuff. People really want to buy this stuff. This is what I learned going to the WWE Superstore when at SummerSlam. They got so much shit, and I wouldn't think to buy. And then next thing you know, you see somebody walking around with it. It's like, sure, I guess somebody did want to buy it, because if it's right there in front of you, you probably just want to, you're like, all right, sure, I'll take it. Also, you got to get some damn bags. The fact that I had to like hide Steven Jensen's signed Sting figure like close to me because I was afraid of somebody like taking it, because if they saw that it was like a Sting signed figure that they could just like steal off of me for free after I paid $300 for the thing, I was very worried about that. You can't just hand that to me, be like, yep, here you go, good luck. You got to have a bag that I can put this thing in to kind of protect myself and really others, but to protect my merchandise when I buy it. Not having bags, another just very inexcusable thing to me.
What's funny is that you're mentioning, there's something for everyone at these shows, even though you might not be the one buying it. Here's a really good example. I go to SummerSlam in Vegas. I've talked about this before, but let's bring it up here. The Lily doll. The Lily doll sold like mad at the SummerSlam Superstore. The Superstore, by the way, was in a hotel like conference room, and it was massive. And they did some meet and greets, but like the meet and greets were to the side. The Superstore was huge, and they did it, and they had the Lily dolls. I swear to God, I went on day one. The Lily dolls were packed to the brim. I came back a few hours later. They were almost empty. I came back day two, same thing. By the last day that I could go, they were all gone. These stupid Lily dolls that they were selling for at least $20 a pop were getting purchased. And that was also at the time when we all said that Lily's going to be a tag team champion. Should have been. And I was like, you're going to also merchandise little tiny. This would have been the perfect driver. You know, the mini belt that they gave to the mayor of London? They should have done one of those mini belts for the women's tag titles, which they have. And they should have given that to Lily when her and Alexa Bliss won the tag titles. That's what they should have done. But Lily didn't win the tag titles, and everyone popped their $20 for a Lily doll, because there you go. People forget about that doll. Tell you who doesn't, all the people who bought that stupid doll, because everyone's going to want it.
Lily was over. Jason saying, when I was in Raw, when I was Raw in July.
Nice. You should probably wear something about that.
Yeah. Jey Uso sunglasses sold out. Oh, yeah. Those Jey Uso sunglasses, that's just printing money right there. absolutely printing money.
And by the way, the bag stuff, you're not even using a plastic bag. There are a lot of places that do like a nicer paper gift bag, because that is also one of the nice things about these
It
shows.
can't be, sure, but it can't cost that much to print up little plastic bags with an AEW logo. That's literally all I'm asking.
You got to remember, in some states, and I know definitely some cities and provinces in Canada, it has now become either illegal or very cost prohibitive to do plastic bags, because that has been a huge green initiative for a lot of states, a lot of provinces. So that's why I go on the paper bags, because those have become premium, whatever, or like the reusable bags, stuff like that. Yeah, no, I get it.
Fine, give me a paper bag, give me a reason why. I don't care. You got to provide some bags though. Even if it's not for me carrying a $300 figure around, which again, absurd that I am walking around the arena with a $300 signed Sting figure and I could just have it out in the open like I did. But I also bought a t-shirt. If I didn't want to wear the t-shirt and I got to carry this thing around, hold it over my shoulder or whatever, because, you know, I want to buy a t-shirt because I'm there, but I also have another t-shirt on, obviously, because you can't get in the building without a shirt, I don't think. Like, I might just want to buy a t-shirt for somebody else that I'm not going to wear. So now I got to carry a t-shirt on my shoulder that could easily be yanked off of me. I got a figure in my hand that I can't just set down and walk away. I had to have Cass when I went to go get food. I entrusted this thing with Cassidy Haynes, everybody.
That's a very big trust.
Honestly, Cass will look after anything. Cass is one of the nicest people in the world. I actually would trust him with that.
It's true.
But like, you got to be able to just put this in there. Just so absurd. I'm not buying a drawstring bag to hold merchandise that I already bought. No, provide me with a bag. It's not that difficult.
How much do those things cost? They still sell them? I do not see them on. I see them literally everywhere. Oh, here we go. AEW, nope. No, they've got nice bags now. No. The Heels tote bag is $25. That's about as good as it gets. And the WrestleWants one as well.
I'm not buying a drawstring bag to lug my merchandise around. It's common sense and basic just shopping that you get a bag when you check out.
Two things. One, yes, don't buy anything you can't fight for.
I didn't buy it. I will argue this point. I know.
All right.
Fucking around. I will argue this point. I would not have bought this for myself. I had to buy it for Steven Jensen.
And number two, this is more important. Did Cass try smoking it?
I mean, he may have, honestly.
What's the singe mark on the plastic? It's like, I got, you know how things go, brother.
If anyone can do it, Cass can do it.
That's true. I love how all of these bags that they have AEW logos, and I'm thinking to myself, man, all the staff get this on like their first day, and y'all are gonna buy it for $90. Just join the company. That's the answer to the question. Anyway, the drawstring bags don't. They're not sold on their website, so there is that. Instead, you got to find other ways to do it.
All right.
Shall we talk about Australia now?
Yeah, I'm about to write up this report on it. So I'm literally looking at the news report.
Yeah. So earlier this morning, Sporting News is Australian, I guess, people. Tom Naughton put out an article stating that there's a possibility that AEW in Australia is a 2025 initiative, if you will.
Yeah.
What will the show be? Where will it be? That is obviously up to consideration. But the ones that are potential landing spots include Sydney's Alliance Stadium, Melbourne's Marvel Stadium, not officially associated with Marvel that you're thinking of, and Brisbane's Suncorp Stadium. They hold very large amounts of people in a very small country that loves wrestling. And clearly WWE was able to have a big show for Elimination Chamber with about 45,000 people or more. AEW looking to do the same. Australia, New Zealand, the surrounding areas, maybe do something. And I'm not saying that this is reported. This is not reported. This is coming from my brain. Is this something that you potentially link up with New Japan for? Not necessarily as a card that is New Japan AEW presents, but is a Japan's not too far from Australia. You could potentially have a few New Japan stars who are living that way come and participate. What do you think? You saw this morning. It's been rumored. Now the rumor mill has picked up again.
Well, Fightful Select also reported that a potential stadium show in Dallas is possible for 2025 as well. I think it's good that AEW is looking to do bigger shows. I do think they will sell well. I'm sure there are people who are like, well, they can't even do 3,000 at whatever. Like, their pay-per-views generally do well. You do a big enough show, especially first-time stuff, it typically does well. The problem with some of their pay-per-views now is like, okay, well, they're in Chicago every year. They're in Vegas every year. So it's diminishing returns unless you give people a reason to care about this stuff. This wouldn't be diminishing returns. It'd be first time in Australia. It'd be potentially first big stadium show in America. So you're going to sell, you're going to draw for these shows. I mean, it's cool. Like, I don't have a whole lot to add. It's a stadium show. It's a venue show. It's whatever. It doesn't affect me. The show will be on earlier. I respect that. I like that. But whatever. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to add to this, Joel, honestly.
My curiosity lies in, it's not about numbers or anything like that. It's, well, obviously I'm interested as to seeing how many people will come out to an AEW event, knowing that it's a 5-year-old company versus when WWE came. It's a little different of a machine coming from WWE. Is the government going to be involved? The Australian government, kind of like the Perth government was when they ran for WWE. Is that going to be part of it? Also, what does the card look like? Is that a super show? Is it good enough? Are the stars of AEW big enough to fill the venue? Do you start bringing in outside? That's why I brought up New Japan. There's obviously an appetite to do something like this. How big can it be is up to AEW and how they capitalize on an opportunity like this. And then, like you said, someone's saying it should be AEW Thunder Down Under. Yes and no. The Thunder part might get some people talking to WCW in your ear, but it's not a bad shout. But like you said, Fightful Selected reported that there was the Dallas Stadium show that was in talks. Globe Life Field being the front runner for where it would land. What's the spacing between two shows like that? Those are two major stadium shows at two different times. When you're also running, you want to run Grand Slam every year at Arthur Ashe, which is another large scale venue and a big show for you. When do you do it? When do you do these shows? When do they fit? The summers in Australia are flipped from the winter for, in terms of seasons. So if you're doing an outdoor stadium, you're going to want to run early year, which for AEW is what's usually going around that time. There are no big shows. Like, it's not Double or Nothing or anything like that. It's
Revolution.
It's Revolution. That's like their latest big one, right? In the winter time. So is Revolution a good time to run Australia around February?
Yeah, I wouldn't add to an event. I wouldn't make a new event because unless you can do it in like this is your January show, but I don't know if I would add to it. I think taking events elsewhere is the play. I think taking Double or Nothing elsewhere is a play. I think taking All Out elsewhere is a play instead of continuing to do Vegas and continuing to do Chicago. At some point, you got to travel with these events because like I just said, we're seeing diminishing returns by continuing to go to Vegas, by continuing to go to Chicago. So I would try to travel with it. As far as the card, I mean, they stack all of their pay-per-views. That's the thing with AEW. It's how much interest can you build in the lead up and using other talents. I mean, there's some New Japan guys who might fit, but New Japan ain't exactly. I mean, they got Takeshita in their final 6 with the G1 right now because they're kind of hurt. Maybe he's not Australian, but put Zack Sabre on the card. He's going to be in at least the final 4 in the G1. And Hanare is a possibility. Like, that might work. But I don't see them, like, I don't feel like anybody in New Japan works too well because they just don't have a whole lot of top guy. Now, maybe by the time this show happens and Tokyo Dome happens January 4th, maybe by that. Oh, speaking of January, they're doing that Wrestle Dream paper. I don't think it's called Wrestle Dream.
Wrestle Dynasty. Wrestling Dynasty.
Yeah, they're doing that show January. That's basically an AEW pay-per-view. So I know it's New Japan as well, but it's also AEW adjacent. So that's kind of their January pay-per-view now, assuming it's not part of New Japan World or it is like its own separate. I don't know if they've figured out what the buying process is for that, if it's something of you got to buy it separately, or if it is it's included with your New Japan World subscription. However, they're going to do that. And maybe once they get a TV deal announced, things become a little bit more clear on that anyway. But for all intents and purposes, that could be their January show.
Yeah, that could be. On top of that, is this a Kyle Fletcher in the main event type of show?
You got to do a little bit more to heat up Kyle Fletcher. I know they've made him a focal point, but he also loses every single big match he's in. So look, whenever they do it, that for all we know, they're not going to do this show until like April. So they'd have plenty of time to reorder what they're doing. I don't know about main event for Kyle Fletcher, but he'd be involved in something, I would imagine.
You know what you do? It's World's End at the World's Australia is to many Americans the end of not the end of the world, but it's like the furthest you can go. So you can do the World's End pay-per-view because it's December. It's the end of December. It's cold. You can do that and then stick around for the fireworks because everyone wants to see the fireworks on the Sydney Bridge on the 31st.
What do you mean it's cold? Like, you mean warm in December?
I meant it's warm. Yeah, I meant it's warm in December. Right. It's cold. It's cold in America. It's cold in North America. Okay. Yes, but it's warm in Australia at that time of year. And so you could do that. And again, no one said that the show had to be early in the year. And it is summer in December. So you could easily do it all the way there. I'm not ignoring New Zealand, by the way. Actually, when I worked Australia and New Zealand, I preferred New Zealand. Don't tell the Aussies, though. New Zealand was fantastic. Loved Australia, but New Zealand just had my vibe. So that's kind of where my brain just went to is you do World's End. It's in December 2025. And that's your Australia show. And you have a long ass lead time to get people excited for that show. You can build some stuff there. Hopefully you get people excited to the point where just like, because again, All In, you're given a year of ticket sale time. And at different points in the year, people are buying tickets based on whatever you're working on. So maybe it is World's End. Maybe you're doing it December 2025 and it's the end of the year. I wouldn't hate that personally from like a branding and movement point of view. And then whatever they're going to do in Dallas, some people have said it'll be All In Dallas next year, or it'll be Forbidden Door in Dallas because it's a big show. And Forbidden Door is that weird show where every year it does really well at the gate, but the build is always really like people don't always love the build on TV because maybe they're not necessarily into what's going on in New Japan or what's going on CMLL this past year. So like as a result, the interest is kind of there, but it's not at the same time. So maybe they can do a show like Forbidden Door in a place like Dallas. And then you have a lot of lucha talent come in. It's just Mystico in the main event. And then you're just going to sell all the tickets to that thing. But that's the other question is if you're going to do two stadium shows, how do you space them out? And I think one in December is one answer, and the other one being in the summer might just be the other. You got to deal with whatever you're dealing with in New York, but it doesn't seem like they care considering Grand Slam right now is not granted there are a lot of shows between now and Grand Slam, big shows, so they're not putting a lot of emphasis on it, but like they're not looking to have 20,000 at Arthur Ashe right now. That's not like their number one concern. So,
well, if you're doing Forbidden Door, Dallas Stadium, not AT&T, and then Australia in the year, where's All In?
That's a good question. Do they go back to Wembley for another year? Doesn't feel like they need to. Unless they suddenly have an influx of, 30,000 people buying tickets this week for Wembley. There's no onus to go back there. There are other places you can go. So maybe it is All in Dallas. And you bring people in. It's a major hub for an airport, so you could get it.
I think because you've branded All In as this big show that's running a stadium, you've got to keep with that. It feels very strange of, hey, All In past 2 years, Wembley Stadium sold over 50,000 each time. Now we're going to hope to just get 10,000 in the building for a show in California.
We're going to the pyramid, baby. We're back.
This is what we've talked about before, and I've certainly talked about a lot of just the perception of these shows. All In is perceived as a bigger show because they're running a stadium. You've got to keep that perception up because that people will buy just based on perception. And AEW hurts its own perception when Tony Khan says every show's the greatest show ever and every show's the biggest show ever. And yeah, we got a great show with All In coming up, but also a show that's just as big as All In is Dynamite tonight. Like, no, Dynamite's not the biggest show. All In's the biggest show. Sell me on that. Like, they got to keep the perception up with some of this stuff because, yeah, if you keep saying everything's great, everything's big, well, everything gets smaller.
Meanwhile, there's magic in the esports building. Is there a big stadium in Canada where they could do All In? Absolutely. It's called the Rogers Centre, aka the Sky Dome. I don't. They could sell it out because Toronto is a major city. It's a major hub. You could do it. I don't know if All In Canada would be as big a deal. I don't know. It feels like AEW wants to leave. Yeah, there's BC Place, but it's also old. In Vancouver. Canada would be interesting, but it feels like they're going to leave it to just TV for now. I'm not speaking necessarily like in fact, it's just the way that it feels to me is AEW is just going to let Canada be that place where it's like maybe, but most likely just a television show. That being said, I mean, selfishly, sure, All In Canada, would love to. I'd be a part of that in a second. But I feel like this is All In Dallas would just be the most sense. Does it need to run in August? I don't think so. That's the other thing is that Wembley has happened the last 2 years because it's a major holiday that weekend. So as a result, they didn't have to worry so much about the next day for people because they had the day off. It was a bank holiday. Now you don't have to abide by that if you are running Dallas. Is there an August holiday in the States? Long weekend? Just before back to school?
I don't know.
I know
Canada there's holidays.
Regardless, I'm saying that your timing is a little easier to handle because that way All Out doesn't end up being a week or two later. You could go back to doing, if you really want to do Labor Day weekend or you just want to do early September, then you don't have to run the last week of August or the last 2 weeks of August and then have to pressure everything into those two pay-per-views back to back. Some people are saying double or nothing Dallas. Sure. I don't know why you would do it. Let's call it Texas Hold'em. But yeah, Labor Day weekend here is the one.
Yeah, it's called double or nothing.
Yeah, but like double or nothing is because it's Vegas and it's double or nothing and it's the betting motif. I'm not saying stick it in Vegas. I'm just saying.
There's gambling all over the world, Joel.
Not everywhere. There are some towns where gambling is
Pretty
illegal.
sure gambling's legal in Dallas.
Should it be though? That's the question. Should it be?
Well, Labor Day weekend in September is the one. That's why they kept running All Out Labor Day weekend. That was the thing is they ran All Out Labor Day weekend because Tony's like, oh, it's a holiday, so we're running on Sunday because everybody has Monday off. And I'm like, stop doing your press conference at 3:00. I don't have Monday off.
Why not?
What do you mean?
Why don't you have that time off?
Because I work in wrestling and there are no days off.
Yeah, I wish that changed. So not really breaking news, but we do have to talk about this because this is your doing. Bryan Danielson, I do like bananas.
No. So stupid.
Bryan
Did
Danielson,
this get over at all? Like, I don't even know.
So far, I see some laughter. I see a what the actual F reply. Let's take a look at the quote tweets. Oh, this website's so broken. I quote tweeted it, but it's not showing it. Yeah. I've been shadow banned. Bryan Danielson appears on the Garcia podcast, the Nikki and Bree show, and answers his son buddy's question, do you like bananas? To which Brian replies, quote, I do like bananas. Yeah? Yeah. There's not much else. I'm not going to try to talk about bananas. But we are. I like bananas. How about you?
I like doing a banana and peanut butter sandwich. Ever done that?
Yeah. Yeah. Banana peanut butter? Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's a thing.
really good. Big fan of that.
Oh, God. You know what? This was the funniest shit in the world. Sorry. We're going to go back to Brian Danielson in a second. But you saw this, right? The Trump space? The Trump and Musk space?
No, why the
From
fuck
Monday?
would I? No.
Oh, but you come on. This was the entire world was like at least about okay.
Joel, I will say this again for people that don't that this isn't clear. Sorry, I'm stammering over my words. I am way less online than everybody thinks. I'm online to work. If it's not work related, if I'm not writing something about it, I'm probably not paying attention to it. And it includes shit like this. So no idea what this is about.
You missed it. When Dickhead and Dickhead Lights, the owner of the Twitter sites, were doing it, they were going to do a live space.
Sounds terrible.
And the space didn't work because they're two idiots who couldn't get their shit together. To which the dickhead owner of the Bird website says, oh, we had a small DDoS attack, so we're having some issues starting up the space. To which everyone said, really, a DDoS attack, just specifically on your account and literally nowhere else on the website. It's a DDoS attack. Okay, sure. It's not how it works, but he's an idiot. So it's all good. Bananas. You want your banana and peanut butter sandwiches. People in the chat disagree with you.
What? You guys don't like that? That's good stuff.
Some are saying. I think they're wrong. I think a peanut butter banana sandwich is perfectly logical.
Yeah.
You put your bananas in pancakes?
It's good stuff.
Yeah. What are they not good for?
Bananas?
Yes.
I mean, once like they're too far gone, you don't want to eat them.
Yeah, but that's when you use them for banana bread.
You get them brown bananas.
Yeah, that's when you make banana bread.
Yeah, the wife does that.
See?
You use them for banana bread. Banana is very diverse fruit.
My son loves bananas. He also likes banana yogurt.
Okay.
Yeah, just banana Greek yogurt. That's how he's like, banana yogurt. I'm like, you know what? It's Greek yogurt. There's protein. All you. Just the banana on itself, also good. Love that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? It's right down your throat. Eat that banana.
Yeah, just regular old bananas, banana pudding. I like banana flavored stuff too.
Oh yeah, like what? Like banana popsicles?
Banana popsicles are good. Banana ice cream, it's good stuff to me. Like I like they used to do, I mean maybe they still do, it's just in a different it was basically like a banana pudding ice cream. Like I know it sounds like something, it's just basically banana flavored, but there was a little hint of banana split, something like that. It's good stuff. Runts, yeah, banana runts. Those are the only good ones. Every other flavor of runts sucks, but banana runts are the best.
Hold on, are runts also the ones? Hold on, because I know that this is a Canada-U.S. thing. Runts are the candies that are shaped like fruits.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we had a different name for them too, because runts were also another candy in Canada. But either way, I agree with you. Those ones. I also like the. I think I like the orange ones and the lime ones, but the banana ones were A tier.
Banana, yeah, banana Laffy Taffy.
Laffy Taffy, yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah.
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 Everything banana is good, man. So I, like Brian Danielson, like bananas.
Banana and chocolate is also always good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get a banana, you get some fondue because it's the 70s and we're old. And you just melt some chocolate on that banana. Game over. Banana bread pudding, people are saying. Let's go. Now I'm gonna get some banana ice cream, some banana chocolate ice cream. We're gonna have some fun tonight. That's what we're gonna do. AEW banana warmers. They should be selling them.
Yeah.
Make millions. There we go. That was my Jeremy Gump line with banana. Banana bread, banana pudding, banana popsicles. Oh my God. The Penta stuff. Someone mentioned Ebu Space where he mentioned the stuff with Penta going to WWE. We made reference to this at the beginning of the show with Penta going on Twitter and saying he is presently with AEW. Those were his words, something like that. Maybe I'm paraphrasing. He used the word presently with AEW. I don't like when this shit happens, Jeremy. I don't like it when wrestlers think that they are preserving kayfabe by calling reporters fake news and attacking them like that, because there are a lot of weirdos on the internet. I don't know if you know this, Jeremy. You're incredibly offline.
Yes.
As you said.
Yes.
So the weirdos, maybe you don't see them nearly as much. But I do have a problem with someone basically giving the weirdos fodder. Someone saying that he said AEW is his present. Maybe. I mean, I don't know how much he gets paid. It sounds like a nice present, though, given how much TV time he has and how much he doesn't have to work. So Penta, and that's the other thing, Sean's backed Ibu up, and there has been reporting from Fightful Select about this stuff. I don't like it when a wrestler decides to do something like this and call fake news and just call it out publicly in this way, because I think it just adds to people being weird on the internet. And I don't think that any of us get paid nearly enough to deal with the absolute weirdness of some people on the internet. And on top of that, it's like, what does Penta gain from this when in a few weeks we see him potentially in a WWE ring? And by the way, Penta has mentioned on different shows that he's done that like there was interest, or that he has talked to. He has mentioned stuff like this before. So what does this mean? Like, not what does this mean? I know what this means. I think it's stupid as hell when a wrestler goes on and just looks like a complete idiot in a few weeks when they show up and they're just like, oh, so not with AEW. And then they get to say, oh, present. I don't know if you have thoughts on this, but I did want to add that I just thought it was so bloody stupid to start putting that shit out on the internet when you know what's going on as a wrestler.
Cero miedo. It's all Penta does. That's all I'm gonna do.
I'm just gonna leave that one alone.
Now I get it. So truthfully, I do get it. Is some wrestlers do this? They call out, like, if somebody does a report, they're like, "That's not true," or whatever they're gonna do. And look, maybe it's not, maybe it is. No idea. Like, if it is false, I don't have an issue with a wrestler calling it out. The part that he called out was that he's going to be in Orlando this week. And I don't know if that's true or not. There's still a lot of time left in the week. We shall see. He's either going to be, that's the thing when you call this stuff out, you're either going to be proven right or you're going to be proven wrong. Like, the truth is going to come out on what happens. So people will look back at this and be like, oh yeah, Penta probably shouldn't have done that when he ended up in WWE. Or maybe he stays with AEW and it's, oh, look, Penta was right. That was fake that he was going there. So that's what's going to happen. The truth is going to come out in this. He's either going to stay with AEW or he's going to come out and he's going to join WWE. Now, of course, that doesn't mean plans didn't change. Maybe he does go to Orlando and maybe he has a meeting or whatever and things don't go well and he ends up signing with AEW, but like he still had the Orlando meeting. Like, we just don't know. I understand your point of it because I do feel the same way of, I don't always like when wrestlers do it, and it's not even so much necessarily wrestlers, it's really anybody. They use the dirt sheet term and all this stuff, and then it paints everybody in a bad light because I don't think that should be the case. Obviously, I think Sean's reputation speaks for itself. I think Ibu has done good work. Like, he seems like he doesn't have a whole lot. He doesn't put a whole lot out there, but the stuff that he has put out there so far has been pretty on point is the word I'm looking for. I think for the most part, Mike Johnson is on point. Wade Keller seems to do a good job. Like, so when people call out, let's say, other websites that don't do as good of a job, everybody gets grouped into the same thing. even if somebody might say, "Oh, Sean was wrong on this," like it gets grouped into the same thing, and it just gives the people who are already made up their mind on stuff, it gives them more fodder, and that's really what it comes down to. A lot of these people have already made up their mind on shit, so now you've given them more fodder. Of, well, see, Penta said that, Penta said that this was all fake, so all this new stuff must be fake. You've already made up your mind that you don't like this stuff and that it's fake. Whatever. Like, we're not going to change your mind on it. So I paid attention. I saw it, and that was up.
I was annoyed. I was annoyed because I've seen it way too many times. You know, how many times have we ran that, you know, some people just need to shut the F up video? And this is one of those times where it's just like, just why bother? Why did you bother engaging with this? You're not protecting anything. You're not protecting yourself. Nothing's happening here. Like, nothing of value happens when you do this. So here we are. We're having this conversation. I guess that's more than the Lucha Brothers would have been talked about this week, given their status on TV. It's very silly. This, I don't know. Wrestling is such a, it's not even wrestling. Entertainment is such a keeping yourself afloat in the headlines business that it's so annoying when you hear this stuff and you're just like, why are we doing this? Because you just want attention? Because it's look at me. I can't be that person. So I don't understand people who like to be that person. That's all. So here we are once again. Penta just show up with Fanatics and Rey Mysterio. And then someone can ask, hey, Penta, why did you say you were with AEW? And see how he gets out of that question.
I did like that they did the Rey Mysterio, who's his tag team partner? And people are like, oh, it's Penta, it's Penta. It's probably just going to be some, like, you know.
It's going to be Dragon Lee. It's going to be Dragon Lee.
I just feel like it's going to be like some, you know, Make-A-Wish kid, which, good. But that's my guess. Maybe it's Bad Bunny.
Oh, that would rule. Yeah, maybe it's Dom. He just brings out his son. He's like, yeah, we had some chats. I saw his episode of Impulsive and I said, son, I'm proud of you. Come and join me by my side. And that's what it should be. Oh man. Is there anything from NXT that we want to dive into? Joe Hendry came back, sticking his claim for the NXT Championship. He wants to take on All Ego Ethan Page. We're gonna get there. That's the main event. And then so Wesley gets involved too. And Pete Dunne wants to get involved with the NXT Championship match. They're giving some stuff. No Mercy is shaping up. This is interesting to me only because I see how this ends. And that is Pete Dunne gets the win and Joe Hendry gets screwed by somebody and Wesley gets taken out by his former tag team partner. Feels to me that's where we're going. But All Ego Ethan Page is having a good run on top so far. What do you think of that? What do you think of how All Ego has started and the way that he's presented himself?
It's been good. I do find it hilarious that his top now feuds have been Oro Mensah, who was the second top guy in Meta 4. And
where there were 4 and 2 of them were men and 2 of them were women. So he was the second guy, literally.
Yes. And now Joe Hendry, who is not technically signed to the company. As Pete Dunne's there, which Pete Dunne's main roster guy at the very least, or Wes Lee. But then you're looking at 2 heels, which Meta 4 was kind of a heel group before everything. So it feels like they almost have a babyface problem in NXT, which is hilarious because they definitely don't have a problem on the main roster. But yeah, they don't have anybody. At least they haven't shown to have anybody that they're going to use for that position. Ethan Page. Ethan Page is doing well as champion. I wish they would give him whatever the feud they give him. I hope it is a little bit more than the Oro Mensah stuff. Like they did the best they could with that, but did they really need to do that?
Someone's pointing out something that I don't want to give TNA spoilers, but if you're watching TNA, let's talk about this for a second. Joe Hendry has a feud that's currently on the simmer with Josh Alexander. Over on FightfulSelect.com, we did report a couple of weeks ago that Josh has been talked about for an appearance with NXT. There's also the history between Josh and Ethan Page. You put titles on the line. At one point, Josh was penned at least, or penciled in, to win the TNA World Championship at Slammiversary before everything changed, thanks to Joe Hendry. There's something there. There's a North reunion that they never wanted to do, but maybe they could start to work on, not as a tag team that worked together, but as a tag team that just acknowledge each other. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I could see Josh getting involved. If Joe Hendry faces Ethan Page for the NXT Championship at No Mercy, maybe Josh costs Joe Hendry the match. And then meanwhile, others have mentioned, Pete Dunne. You got Trick taking out Pete Dunne. Why do we have to do that? Dunne won. That's it, right? Trick. It wasn't a messy finish. It was clean as a sheet. But Wentz taking out Wes makes sense. But other than that, that's what I can see this. That's where I can see this happening. You can do Josh Alexander coming into T2 to NXT for a little bit to screw Joe Hendry in his title match. Maybe that's where you go.
Possible.
And then Josh comes around and does a little bit with NXT, because I'm sure WWE would like to get a good look at Josh. He's going to be at the end of his contract coming up soon. Remember when they picked up that option year? A lot of people do, because they had to tell you twice.
Yeah.
Just leaving that out there. So here we are again. Joe Hendry coming into to NXT has been good. I'm looking forward to more of this, but the big story. Throw up your U's once again. New tag champions. Unfortunately, Thea Hale is not one of them, but she is in spirit. Chase U wins the NXT Tag Team Championships over Nathan Frazier and Axiom. This is it. This is all you wanted. Chase U are champions once again. Are you excited?
Thea Hale, 1/5 of the NXT Tag Team Champions. Very excited.
She's my champion. Could you imagine that a dude named Harlem Bravado is the NXT? If you put Harlem Bravado and Christian Casanova next to each other and you ask which one turned out to be which, I feel like a lot of people would get tripped up in the answer. I was thinking about that last night. It's one of those times where you're like, no, I'm glad they changed those names. Thea Hale should absolutely win. Not the Speed Championship, although Thea Hale, the Speed Champion on X, would make perfect sense for people like me. Yeah, let the North beat Chase U for the NXT tag titles.
Absolutely not.
And then they can win the TNA tag titles as well to beat ABC. Then they got all the alphabet. That's the way you should do it. And then they should come north. They should do another PLE in Toronto.
Yeah.
I know. Well, TNA is not coming here. They don't like me anymore. I'm the only reason they ever come to Toronto. And they just don't like me. So it's fine.
The written version's going up, Joel. Just not the video version.
Well, we'll see about that. People don't listen to emails sometimes.
No. Okay.
No, not at all. So anyway, everything changes. The story in NXT right now with the title looks good. Obafemi beat the shit out of Otis. That was a Haas fight that I'm sure people liked.
Is Obafemi a heel? Or is he just, I guess he's just Obafemi. Like, who cares?
That's really all. You can't tell him what he is because he'll just step in front of whatever answer you give him. That's
like, I like Obafemi. He rules.
Right.
I'm just trying to figure out, because he's been facing mainly baby faces. So, and the way he won the title too was kind of a heelish move, like cashing in the thing. So I do think he is a heel, but people really like Obafemi.
Is that a heel move to cash in the thing that you won?
I mean, the way he did it, yeah.
Because he did it so late after the other guy won. I forget what the whole thing was.
He beat Dragon Lee, like after Dragon Lee had just won a match.
Just one, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's a heel move. I just like Obafemi. I think most people just like Obafemi.
No, I agree. It does seem like a lot of people like him, but I do think he's supposed to be a heel. He's facing a bunch of baby faces. Otis is a baby face. Wes Lee at the time was a baby face. Like, he's facing baby faces.
Well, you know what perennial NXT theme song writers Orange Crush used to say. No man is ever truly good No man is ever truly full.
That thing banged. That was a good theme.
That was a good theme. That was probably one of the last good ones.
Yeah.
Although, was it Orange Theory, I think was the name of it. I don't know what they were. Regardless, they did a live one and it was not good because they just, again, wrestling doesn't know how to put together a live music show. Although they did well with SummerSlam. They did well with what's his face? Jelly Roll. Orange Jelly Roll. Delicious. Yeah, like listen, you've got a big deal when Alex Pulowski loves a guy. And he loves Obafemi. So clearly they are going to bury Obafemi when they get the first chance. Oh, love Alex. Sorry, I was just coughing up. Oh, here's the other big one that we need to talk about from Monday night. Your new favorite collective. They are Pure and they are Fusion. Apparently your sound is back.
No, sorry.
The aliens are here.
No.
You gotta stop the aliens from doing their thing.
I don't know what to tell you there. Maybe that worked. I don't know. Maybe I made it worse. Apologies.
Who knows? The Pure Fusion Collective are here. This is officially part of their name. For how long though? That's the question.
It's until they dissolve.
But why would they dissolve? They like each other. They're friends. Right. Best friends.
They're going to be the Pure Fusion Collective for a long time then.
I need your hot take on the name, though.
I don't have a hot take.
What are we doing? I thought we were the Hot Take Central podcast that everyone just likes to pull from.
It's a name. I don't think it's that good there.
It's not very good at all. What would you rename it then?
I thought that they wouldn't go with the Scissor Shield, but I thought that was the best name.
That's fair. It's adding collective was just dumb. But just call them Pure Fusion.
Just Pure Fusion, PE.
Yeah.
Physical education.
Yeah, why not? Physical education. In Quebec, Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, is known as sorry, what's it called? It's known as PFK. So the second I heard PFC, I was like, oh, it's just Canadian. It's just Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's not, but it should be. So my point is, give them each a big bucket of chicken and send them to the ring.
Is this name okay if you learn that like Sonya Deville came up with it?
No, I don't think anything's. Someone had mentioned this is a name that Shayna Baszler found on a Warhammer forum 5 days ago and decided to pitch. And I was like, that is incredibly apt. I went on on a searching spree to see if anyone's ever made reference to a Pure Fusion Collective anywhere. Like just a big old Google search. Nothing. I thought I found something, but it turns out it was just someone using a message board thread that's been like since 2013. I was like, oh, this is old. And I was like, no, it's they've just been using the same forum since 2013 for talking about Raw. Ruined my entire evening. So no, there hasn't been a Pure Fusion Collective the whole time until now.
All right, so it's an original idea, and people want to knock them for that.
Because it's not a good original idea.
Beggars can't be choosers. You either want original ideas or you want something good. Pick a lane.
What if my lane is AEW Dynamite tonight?
Okay.
Do you want to preview that show?
No.
But it's a big show. I've been told they've been on a big string of shows and that the next few shows are very important for AEW's livelihood. I'm reading a quote from Tony Khan.
Big announcements are imminent. He's been teasing these things for like 20 weeks now.
We'll have big news that could come at any time. This is a pregnant woman who is ready to give birth. And every day past week 40, they're just like, any day now, it's coming. The big deal. Oh, there you go. There's a weapon in Warhammer called about using Pure Fusion. There it is. So it's a Shayna Baszler idea.
Maybe if somebody interviews Shayna, Zoe, or Sonya, they can ask what this name's all about.
That's probably a good idea. Anyway, new TV deals are coming. Is that what we're going to announce? People seem to be really really obsessed with the idea that Tony's going to announce a new TV deal as part of these major announcements. That's one thing I'm curious about. What are we doing?
I don't know. I apologize for the beeping, everybody. I'm trying to screw with my headphones. I can't hear it, so it just seems to be a thing, but I can't hear it, so I don't know how to like fix what I can't hear.
How did we fix it last time? I think you just literally moved the wire around.
That's what I did here. Like I just moved my headphones. I don't know if
there's something in the middle of your headphones in you that did it.
No, there's nothing in the middle right now, so I can try unplugging my headphones.
It's going away slowly.
Okay.
Very strange. Well, either way, here we are. Sorry, we were talking about the TV stuff, the TV deal and the announcements and all that stuff. People are fairly married to the idea that it's going to be announcements of a television deal.
I mean, it would have to be. You can't say biggest announcements in like AEW history and then here's Ricochet. No offense to Ricochet, but you can't do that. You got to give something more than that. And the fact that they've talked about all of these television announcements, like it would have to be that.
Why are there more S's in announcements? Is this a thing? Is this a gimmick? Are we doing something here?
Might be.
Scary. I know a lot of people like to say that, you know, these big announcements are going to be about television deals, but in AEW's history, they've never really made a television deal announcement, a big like announcement on a television show. You know what I'm trying to say? There's always been like Tony Khan is a major announcement. And it's never been about the television deal.
Collision was. That's really the only television deal they've had to announce was Collision.
Oh, that was the whole like because CM Punk's coming back. It was leading to something.
Right. Well, this might be leading to something if they're switching days or whatever. No one said they're going to announce this stuff on television, by the way. Tony just says the announcements are imminent. They didn't say, I mean, look, when we get the Tony Khan has an important announcement graphic for the show after All In or All Out, whichever, then we'll know. But no one's saying they have to announce these deals on television.
No, they don't. But a lot of people do rush to assumption that is where it goes. They do need ice cream bars. They should have ice cream bars again. Talking about AEW merch, more ice cream bars or molds for your ice cream bars. Make your own ice cream bars.
They can't do announcements. They can't do they can't do ice cream bars because it takes 2 to 3 weeks to ship and they will be fully melted by the time they get to you.
That is true. You can't even send them in an ice crab anymore. That's upsetting. Oh, well. Yeah, so I'm looking up tonight's card for AEW because there is actually a full show announced for tonight. A lot more than last week. I'm just trying to pull it up.
That Collision was announced on Dynamite. They announced when Collision. They might have done like a press release earlier, but then CM Punk was included in the press release and people got mad about that or whatever. But they also they teased the announcement for Dynamite and then they might have done it day of because anything like that typically does get announced in a press release, but they still teased it for a Dynamite announcement and then they added more to it for Dynamite.
Yeah, I remember we sat here with Zarian for like an hour during stand-ups that time.
Yeah.
And then they did the announcement, they did the logo reveal and all that stuff. That was a whole episode for us. But then then they announced Collision and it became a television announcement as well.
So if they do a TV deal, it might be the same bit. So again, if you see the Tony Khan as the important announcement, then get ready for stuff to be announced on that day. Maybe before Dynamite, but also on Dynamite.
Will there be a music video tribute for the new television announcement?
What song would you set that to? It'd have to be like an upbeat, positive song, right?
Good by Better Than Ezra. Since all Tony likes to do is pick songs from the 90s. I said it on Twitter, which nope. Graduation by oh my God, what's her name? I had it and then I forgot her
Vitamin
name.
C, right?
Vitamin C. I almost said Mel C. Vitamin C's graduation song is going to be the last Ring of Honor show. That's going to be the music video. Someone saying Higher by Creed. Yeah, that's also pretty apt.
That'd be good.
Walking on Sunshine. Jesus Christ.
They should just steal my sunshine instead.
Yeah, that's very 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. That should be it. It's just going to be a bunch of 90s music because that's all that's what Tony does when there's a music video to be had. Every rose has its thorn. He didn't do that one, but he picked the other song. New television deal, I'm sure, will be great. And the music video that comes with it, the first 5 years of Dynamite music video that they're going to air in October. That's it right there. What's the song they used for that one?
I don't know.
Someone just said Informer, but come on.
That'll be good.
tonight. Yeah, you should get a pumpkin song. I'm sure Billy would love that shit.
They should do Creep by the Smashing Pumpkins.
They should, absolutely. Well, tonight you'll hear a Green Day song that everyone has heard. Some people know it at the time of your life, but it's called Good Riddance. That's going to be the soundtrack to the Bryan Danielson career retrospective. Are you ready to cry? Are you going to have your bananas ready for when Bryan Danielson's career retrospective hits the airwaves?
So this song played when I graduated. I don't know if you can graduate like elementary school, but going like the end of elementary school, they played this and they did like this video of, photos that were taken throughout the year. Yeah, everyone does this shit, right? Like yearbook photos and stuff. But this is the song that played. And this it always sticks with me. Of like anytime I hear this song, that's what I remember, graduating from elementary school. Now maybe I'll think about Bryan Danielson when I hear it.
It could be a weird mix of emotions and thoughts in your head. It's like, oh, I was such a cute kid. Danielson hurt himself after every match.
Do you think they get? I didn't watch Seinfeld.
It was used for the finale, though. That is factual.
I believe it. Do you think they get any WWE footage?
I would go so far to say yes. If they do, then that's almost cementing that Danielson's done. I don't think they will. I think they're going to rely mostly on his Ring of Honor, on his literally everything but his WWE run at this point.
You got to have stuff from the WWE run. They'll have photos. They will definitely have photos.
Yeah, like PWI photos. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That stuff, I think so. But video content, I would be incredibly surprised. I don't see a world where they would use WWE video content unless the only way they would do it, and they didn't do it for Sting. They found ways to run around it with the WCW stuff, which was very smart. With Danielson, it would have to be done and retiring, and then that would be their call to be like, WWE, we'd like to use stuff from the Yes movement. And we'd like to use some stuff from WrestleMania if you'll allow it.
I don't think there's going to be any WWE footage, whether he's done, not done. I don't think, I think he's winning on next Saturday, Sunday, whenever the hell the show is. I think he's winning next week, regardless. I don't think there's going to be any WWE footage. I do wonder, and maybe somebody can ask Danielson or Tony Khan instead of asking him about the TV deal that he's never going to actually say, and he's just going to say, we have great things on the horizon. Maybe someone will ask Tony Khan of like, did you reach out to WWE about footage for this? Because I don't feel you can tell. You can't. He had a great run in ROH. He had a great run. He's had a great run in AEW. But you can't tell the career story of Bryan Danielson without, I know Senior Nerd is fucking around and saying it's two different people, but like you can't tell that story without Daniel Bryan and main eventing WrestleMania 30 and the Yes movement and everything that went into that. They should, you know what they should fucking do? They should just take the monster video, just flat out steal it, pay the fine, pay whatever you got to pay, steal the monster video, but then add in the WrestleMania 30 footage. And then after that, who cares? Everything Danielson did after WrestleMania 30, honestly, was unfortunate because he had to retire and then unretire. And then he got stuck with Shane McMahon and all this stuff. But they should just take the monster video and like in the middle of time of your life, It's something unpredictable, but in the end, it's right. I've created a monster. That's how it should go.
Don't know about that one, Chief. No, you just, and that's the thing. You have to splice in at the most awkward time, the monster video, not at the end of the song, but just like in the middle of a lyric, just static in. That's the way it should be.
They should. That's what they should do. That's what I would do anyway.
They're going to use the music's going to hit a lot of chords in multiple ways, by the way, and it'll be good. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's just
okay. The wife did remind me, the Planet Champion Bryan Danielson.
The best. I was there when they unveiled that title. That was great. It was confusing and wonderful all at the same time. Him telling the world that recycling is for idiots. People in Phoenix being like, "Huh? What's recycling?" And I'm just like, "Oh, he's right. Recycling is not for idiots. You guys are idiots." It was great. Love that. Hemp belt was great.
They actually do need clips of that. I think we'll get photos. Again, we'll get the independent photography photos, probably stuff from Mania. I hope they have some of the Planet Champion stuff, because that was good stuff. I even hope they have when he had to announce his retirement for the first time. Like, it's a big part of Danielson's actual story and stuff. So I feel like you should have something on that. Again, whether it's a photo or maybe you got Aubrey Edwards to show her in the crowd crying. I don't know, but have something there for it.
That's the one thing that's tough, is that happened so long ago that camera phones were not as good as they are now. So even if you use some fan footage, the photos are the best thing you're going to get, and they'll be grainy and they'd have to stage them. But I'm saying video wise, I don't think you'll find much, if anything. But hey, who knows? You throw enough filters on something and it can make anything look good. So I'm looking ahead to this. Someone mentioned the Kofi Mania stuff, and then with the hemp belt, going back to that, if Danielson wins the title, the AEW World Heavyweight Championship at All In, do you think that he would, and again, we go back to the Danielson turns heel story, joins the Elite, you think it'd be too on the nose if he introduced the hemp AEW World Heavyweight Championship? Do you think fans would be upset if he did that? Or do you think they would rejoice because Danielson did it?
They're going to cheer Bryan Danielson regardless.
But I'm just thinking, like, I would love it if he pulls out that hemp belt and he's joined the Elite, and they're from California. They get it. I get it. It would just, oh man, his gimmick isn't that right now, but things can change if he cheats to win at All In.
Nah, I don't feel they're going to do anything like that. They shouldn't do anything like that. Plus, you just had MJF just renamed the title and stuff. So
rebrand all the titles in AEW. The Continental Championship, now the Euro Continental Championship. You got the American title you mentioned, the TNT title, True TV title. We're just getting that out of the way right off the bat. And then finally, the other one that I can't remember, that one, change it to TBS Championship, something else. Hemp AEW belt would sell, but you'd never be able to buy it. Anything else from Dynamite tonight that we need to talk about it?
I wanted to. Drew saying because it's Bryan and he's been vocally positive about WWE the last few years, I think WWE would allow footage. They did allow, like, Bryan and Jericho. They appeared on Raw for John Cena's thing as well. Obviously, that's WWE benefiting from a couple of AEW people appearing on their show, not really anything benefiting AEW, which it's footage, like, this doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't even help AEW in this great way of, like, oh, did you see that? Like, if anything, it makes WWE look good. It's like, oh shit, WWE actually allowed them to use their footage, because we're so used to just, they're not going to allow it. Now people are going to actually, like, WWE would be praised if they allow them to use this footage. People will legitimately get online and be like, oh, that's such a great move by WWE that they did this. Because the bar is so low and we're so used to them not allowing this stuff that they will legitimately get praise of being like, they allowed AEW to use footage of a guy who is in their company, who's been with their company for 3 years now. Like, just let them do it. There's no real What's the downside if you're WWE?
There's no downside, but they would see it as they're acknowledging AEW. There were people who would
they acknowledged AEW on Raw after Sting retired. So
Pat McAfee acknowledged Sting.
Michael Cole.
Did Cole also add to that statement?
Yes.
Oh, because Pat opened up Pandora's box.
That doesn't go through if, you know, they're allowed to say something. Michael Cole started it. I don't think Pat started it. Michael Cole was the one who was like, we also want to send a shout out to Sting, who wrapped up his career. So Michael Cole started that, not
WCW superstar Sting and former WWE superstar. They didn't tell you where. They just told you he wrapped it up. Could have been in Paducah, Kentucky.
They'll get more praise if they just allow this footage.
I don't disagree with you, but I think that there is an idea that they'll be, like Big Man Dog says, legitimizing AEW by giving them their footage to run on their television program. And then, there are going to be bad faith and weirdos who say, oh, WWE on AEW television, big deal. It's just going to shit like that. It's going to get people, up their own craw. I agree with you. I'm mostly playing devil's advocate here. Yeah. I do not think that WWE stands to lose anything by doing this, but I can see a certain amount of people who work there being like, oh, we're legitimizing AEW, we're giving them fodder, we're giving, our names attached to theirs in some way, blah, blah, blah. And it's not the give and take. Some people from AEW spoke at a WWE on WWE Raw. That's different from WWE sending something back to AEW to air on their television show. It's like this, that it does not compute in their eyes. Whereas the TNA stuff is different because TNA is so low on the spectrum of importance to WWE that the partnership is literally like, no, you're not doing any main roster stuff. You're just doing NXT. And we still have all the say. One of our talent probably going to come out and bury the idea of a TNA wrestler versus an NXT superstar on one of the shows, because that's what happened on Tuesday. So that's why I don't expect WWE to say or allow it.
I don't think they will. I think whatever their reason is stupid. If it's the reason you said it, if it's just because they want to be petty, I think it's all dumb. They're going to have more goodwill if they just allow it. And instead of, I don't think anybody's going to see, I mean, I shouldn't say anybody because certainly people will do it. They had Brody footage from there. So
Brody was a bit different for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So that one was kind of everyone's playing nice because there is unfortunately someone who had died at this point. It was very young and it was unexpected. That to me, the Brody example is like, it's a good example, but it's not anywhere near the same as a retiring wrestler.
Potentially retiring.
Yeah. Allegedly retiring.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see it, but they'll get some goodwill. The fans online they'll pop for it. Like, oh, see WWE, so great. They're playing so nice with everybody.
I mean, our post show would absolutely have WWE footage on AEW Dynamite.
Probably.
What? It's not a rip. That's not a rip of what we do. It's just sometimes our post show graphic is something like that, and it is what it is. It's the big story, the big SEO number counter. Speaking of SEO, let's get through the rest of this Dynamite card, shall we?
Sure.
A film by Mariah May.
It's gonna rule.
It will. Do you think that Tony's gonna get involved in the film?
No, I think she's gonna murder RJ City in this film.
Poor RJ. Dead before the graphic hits. He should get the graphic after they murder him. Do you imagine?
That's a good bit. That's a good bit.
They would do that. Winner gets a Casino Gauntlet entry as number 1 at All In. Sorry, the winner is the first entry into the Casino Gauntlet. All 3 men are in the Casino Gauntlet.
Well, maybe. We don't know.
I have to assume. I mean, the winner enters first. So I'm guessing all 3 men are in it.
Yeah.
Because it's Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Is Orange Cassidy going to be the first person in the Casino Gauntlet?
Probably.
Yeah, I could see that. Or they want Kyle O'Reilly to go further in this. Yeah, RJ was All Elite. It would be a funny graphic. Hook is going to appear. Good to see Hook back. I'm sure him and Jericho are going to renew hostilities. Yeah, he came back last week.
Yeah.
Now he's going to appear and maybe make the challenge for All In Wembley. Or maybe they'll do the match in Cardiff. No, it'll be at All In. Because Jericho has to have his band play him to the ring again.
I mean, Jericho's definitely wrestling on All In. I don't know if it'll be against Hook, but he's 100% wrestling on this show.
Yeah, no questions asked there. Hangman Page is going to take on Jay Lethal in a match that nobody really cares.
They're going to do Hangman and Jarrett at All In. It's going to rule.
And then Jarrett's going to take on Bryan Danielson at All Out.
Well,
for the world title. If it happens, the thumbnail is going to be the match graphic. And then it's not even me. It's just going to say ha 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 across the entire thumbnail.
If Bryan Danielson faces Jeff Jarrett at All Out, you deserve that.
I will take that victory lap in the most thumbnail way possible.
You deserve it.
Clap, 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 clap. Could I get it? I will get Tony to do a justified "you deserve it" chant as a tweet for me getting that. Oh, I'd love that. Swerve Strickland takes on Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta's no one's young boy. He's going to have a match against Swerve. That'll be fine. I'm looking forward to this. I'm sure Yuta's going to have a strong showing, and then Swerve's going to kick him in the end, right?
I hope Swerve squashes him.
Would be nice.
Because I don't want to hear about, why'd he go 50-50 with Wheeler Yuta? I don't want to hear any of this. It's dumb. Swerve should beat him in 3 seconds.
And then Yuta just rolls out of the ring and let Danielson and Swerve have a promo. Let Danielson and Swerve watch the Danielson retrospective together in the ring. They both cry, they both hug, and then they both fight. That's how it should go. That should be the whole segment right there. You're welcome.
It should be. Wait, say that again.
So Strickland beats Yuta real quick. Yuta leaves the ring. Danielson comes out. They have a little bit of a promo, and then they show the Danielson retrospective. Swerve and Danielson watch it together in the ring, and then at the end, they're both crying a little bit. They hug, they show respect, and they beat the shit out of each other, going to crash into break.
Nah, I want that. It should be like Danielson watching it, Yuta watch. Like it should be all Blackpool except John Moxley. He doesn't show up anymore. It should be all Blackpool Combat Club like watching it, and then like at the end, Swerve just fucking kicks Wheeler Yuta's head off, and he yells at Danielson and Claudio, "Get the fuck out of the ring!" And then he pins Yuta right then.
I'm just telling you, you gotta let them fight. Let them fight for a while. No, I'd rather just Yuta get the shit kicked out of him. Kazuchika Okada and Claudio Castagnoli come face to face in something that doesn't really matter anymore because they've already announced the match is happening in Cardiff next week.
I hope they like just exchange like nice suit tips.
Yes.
They're like, where do you get your suit tailored at? That's all it is. Maybe give some coffee recommendations as well.
I think Claudio and Okada should have a conversation about how to say bitch in 5 different languages.
Talk about football, soccer, as some call it. Like that's what it should be. Just a nice gentlemanly conversation. That's what I want out of this.
A gentleman's face to face. Huzzah. Yeah, that's it. That's fine by me. Mercedes Moné puts the TBS championship on the line against Hikaru Shida. This obviously ends with Shida winning the TBS title, and it's Britt versus Shida at All In, right?
No.
All right. Well, I'm glad we had that conversation. And finally, the AEW tag team titles are on the line. The Acclaimed finally get their contractually obligated championship match after winning the Eliminator against Matthew and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. This I'm taking last because Meta Young Bucks are just kind of done with me. There was the article that came, or was it the article or was it a tweet? Either way, the whole contractually obligated.
Yeah, it's a tweet. It's great.
It was like I giggled and I was just like, why do we have to make this a thing right now? Like, why do we have to make this part of your gimmick? Why can't you just put up the fucking tag titles more? Oh, and does this is the Acclaimed lose the match and then the Bucks get confronted by FTR and it's going to be Bucks and FTR, or is it going to be a triple threat at All In? Like how does this shake out?
What's the time limit for this match? 30 minutes?
Don't all title matches get at least 30 unless they say 60 for a world?
Sure.
I don't know. They haven't said, but maybe they will.
30-minute time limit.
Oh, God damn it. If this thing starts at 10:30, brother, I'm going to sleep. Or starts at 9:30, I'm going to go to sleep.
I think it's going to a time limit draw. That's my official prediction.
And then that's how they do the three-way?
Yeah, then FTR comes out afterwards and they're like yelling at both teams, and then
oh my God. And then the Bucks say, you have to beat us in a championship eliminator match in Cardiff. And then that's how we're going to do the Wales match, the all-in triple threats.
No. It doesn't go like
Bucks
that.
are going to work again.
So it goes to a 30-minute time limit draw. And then they're both teams claims are like, we want 5 more minutes. We want 5 more minutes. And the Bucks are like, nope, you didn't beat us within 30 minutes. We're not doing that. And then here comes FTR. And old Dax Harwood is like, I just talked to Tony Khan in the back, and I love AEW. And what we're going to do at AEW All In front of all the great AEW fans, since I just talked to Tony Khan, it's going to be FTR. It's going to be the Acclaimed. It's going to be the Young Bucks for the triple threat AEW tag team titles. And then Dax Harwood, after he once again says that he loves AEW, Cash Wheeler is going to take the phone. He's like, why the fuck didn't Lexi Nair announce this?
Why didn't Lexi Nair announce this? That should be absolutely the question everyone has on their minds. That's right. You need to add in that AEW helps put food on the kids' table. Did I mention that I love AEW? We worked last week because we were in town. No one was available, but we were there. Is it a triple threat, or do they get out of this and do Bucks FTR at All In?
Nah, they're gonna do. I think it's gonna be a triple threat. I've sold myself on this time limit draw. Aim low, expectations low. Time limit draw is my low expectation. If we get a winner, and then it sets up whatever the tag team match is, fine. I don't have much interest in Bucks FTR again at All In.
What if this ends up being, because they're doing Claudio and Okada in Wales, Okada just gets put into a 6-man with the Bucks against either the Acclaimed, like all 3 of them, or FTR plus, I don't know, Tanahashi.
Billy Gunn should just come out and beat both of the Bucks, stack them, and then he's the tag team champions. That's how it should go.
If Billy had his way, that would be what he does.
That's what it should be.
Good Lord. Yeah, there you go. It should be Dax. It should be FTR and Tommy Billington, because that's going to be that's the 6-man. Okada and the Bucks versus FTR and Dynamite Kid.
That's possible. I wouldn't completely rule it out, honestly.
Keep this in mind. At 2 hours and 12 minutes, I made the reference to what it's going to be.
Yeah, Michael's saying Bucks cheat to win, and then FTR comes out, and it's still a triple threat. That's very possible. They're going to do that. I just talked to Tony Khan, and this is what we're doing at All In. They're going to do that whole gimmick.
It's going to be Tony Schiavone being like, I just talked to Tony Khan. Then we're going to do it.
And Joel is still going to get mad that Lexi Nair didn't announce the.
It should have been Lexi. If you're going to push Lexi, make sure you push her. She should have the All Elite Executive Assistant, the AEWEA. Yeah. It's a palindrome.
Why didn't Tony tell Lexi? She just interviewed FTR backstage. Why did he have to tell Tony Schiavone?
Well, you see, Tony's wearing the earpiece too, so I think I'm okay with that.
You sure?
See, Joel's right. That happens sometimes.
Tony Khan does make that announcement sometimes. Should tell Taz instead. And then Tony Khan gets jealous.
I just got told by Tony Khan. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's just 5 minutes of Taz filibustering his way through it. It's like his fucking radio show all over again. Did you ever listen to the Taz show? Yeah. There were days where I loved it, and there were days where I was done. Go away, hashtags. Go away. It should always be Lexi Nair.
That should be Taz, and then like Tony Schiavone gets jealous, and then we see Tony Schiavone talk to Christopher Daniels backstage, and he's like, why didn't Tony Khan tell me about the announcement? And Christopher's like, well, Tony's really busy. He thought he clicked for your earpiece, but he accidentally clicked Taz's earpiece. Don't read too much into it. It's okay. It's okay. And then Christopher Daniels just gets beat up and no one cares because that's what happened last time. And then Tony Schiavone's like sulking the rest of the show. And then Excalibur is like, what's wrong with you? And then Tony's like, he told this dumb fuck about the big tag team announcement instead of me. I thought, I'm over here on Collision. This guy doesn't even show up on Collision. Then we get a big like announcer war. And then at AEW All In, Taz versus Tony Schiavone.
I just saw Taz. I'm announcement Jones over here. Oh God. Bring out my son. My son and I are going to do the announcement together. How about Hook? Come on out here. Let's talk. This is like, guys, we're into like a 15-minute overrun at this point. What are we doing?
Then Hook is like, he hands the microphone to Hook and he's eating his chips or his pizza or whatever, and he tosses it down. Hook is just like, fuck you.
And that's the end of the show goes off the air, just like us today. Jeremy Lambert, anything to plug or add?
Never.
Wonderful. We're back here Friday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. Till whenever, let's face it. As long as nobody makes me change the thumbnail at the last minute, we'll be a little better on time today. That was blame sporting news and my schedule because I'm up early, but I'm not at home. Anyway, until then, I am at Joel Pearl for Jeremy Lambert. Let me try that again. For Jeremy Lambert, I am at Joel Pearl, JOELPEARL. Ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary, I can do the entrance and the exit too. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.